Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out another episode of Kenny's Record Collection. Today's a very special episode. I just found out that I reached 100 subscribers, so I'm pretty happy about that. Since I reached 100 subscribers, I always said to myself, I'm going to do my Misfits collection when I get to 100 subscribers. So we're going to do that today. But before I do, I just want to give a shout out to some of my other YouTubing friends. First off, I want to say hello to Dr. October. Thanks for always supporting me. Zep Pearl, thank you for always giving me shout outs. Ryan Kidd, thank you for the shout outs. Much appreciated. I know you guys have my back. I really appreciate it. And another guy, Jason Skills. I did his contest last month, or the month, yeah, it was last month. He was trying to get to 100 subscribers. He's like blown way past that by now. And he actually sent me some VCLT. Where is it? I have it over here. Yeah, I entered his contest last month, and I didn't win, but another YouTuber won, a guy by the name of Harris Pilton, and he said to Jason, why don't you gift what I won to another guy in the community? So I lucked out, and Jason asked me for my address, and this arrived in the mail a couple days ago, so I'm going to open it up. I have no idea what it is. Give it a quick slicey slice. I'm assuming it's some 7 inches, judging by the size of the box. All right, whoa. Wow. Right off the bat. Gates of Steel split between Devo and Flaming Lips. The song Gates of Steel is one of my all-time favorite songs. Not just Devo songs, one of my all-time favorite songs. So this is great. And it's got the Flaming Lips version on the B-side. Very cool. Wow. This is awesome. Yeah, this was like a Record Store Day exclusive last year. I'm not one to really go out to get things on Record Store Day, so it's cool that I was able to get this as a gift. Thank you, Jason. This is awesome. Thank you, Harris Pilton. Here we go. Half Empty. I'm not familiar with this band, but I'm sure it's good stuff if it's coming from Jason. Definitely on some punk rock or garage. Very cool. Half Empty, Welcome Home. Very cool. And one more here. We got Love Tan. Not sure what this band is or what they're like, but I'm sure it's good stuff. So thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you. All right, let me get into my Misfits collection so this doesn't turn into a 3-hour video. All right, we're going to start out with the 7 inches. This is the first 7-inch the Misfits ever released. This is Cough Cool. Unfortunately, this is not an original pressing. This is a bootleg. The original pressings are not really attainable at this point. They go for thousands of dollars. One auction I followed a couple months ago, this went for about 12 grand, the original version. So this is just a bootleg, you know, nothing even on the labels, but it's got the music, which is the most important thing. Little backstory with this. This is before they had a guitar player. This is just Danzig, Jerry only, who was billed Jerry Kaifa or Kaifa, and then Manny on the drums. They did Cough Cool and She with no guitar. So Danzig is playing the electric piano on this. And if you notice, this is Blank Records. There was no Plan 9 at that point. Blank Records was the original label that Danzig had. And believe it or not, Mercury Records wanted to have their own Blank Records. So they bought the name off of Danzig, and the money that they got from that, they were able to use to put towards the Static Age recordings, which, believe it or not, the album didn't come out 30 years after that, but a lot of the songs they recorded, they released in drips and drabs over the years. So that brings me to the next one. This is Bullet. Also, not an original, this is a bootleg, late 80s bootleg. The originals of this are going for well over $5 right now. especially the hand screen versions. Danzig hand screen the cover on the original version. This is actually a bootleg of the re-release, which was on red vinyl. The back cover says Better Dead on red. The original version had a photo of the Misfits. This is red vinyl. Pretty cool. I mean, this is a holy grail for me. I hope to have it one day, but for the amount of money they've been going for, I don't think it's gonna happen. This is a holy grail, and this is an original. One of the 2,000 copies that were pressed of Horror Business. This is also the first ever use of the Crimson Ghost image. They also used it at that time on some posters for like Max's Kansas City. Yes, this is an original. It's got the original Fiend Club insert where you can send away for shirts and, you know, records and stuff. It's got the 27th Street address. They changed it later on to like a P.O. box. It's also got a little story about how the recording session was haunted and there were, you know, strange sounds on the recording that, you know, their manager thought that up. There's no real weird sounds on the recording. The record itself is very cool. Let me pull that out for you. Yellow vinyl. I love how they put the Crimson Ghost on one side and the other side they left it without. The B-side has Teenagers from Mars, Right Into Children in Heat. It's a great version. It's like a seamless recording. The one song goes into the next without any kind of editing. Very cool. So yeah, this was always a holy grail for me. I'm glad that I have it now. Next one, another holy grail of mine. Original Halloween 7-inch. I'm not sure if this is the first one they put out or the second, because there's two different color oranges that they used. And unless you really compare them right next to each other, it's hard to tell. I bought this from a good friend of mine. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. It's got Halloween, the original version, and then Halloween 2 on the B-side, which is like Danzig singing in Latin. It's very, very different. Kind of like more of like a Sam Hain song. And then the other one that I have, this is also a bootleg. Who Killed Marilyn? This was Danzig's like kind of solo 7-inch. The Misfits were kind of in a lull at this point. This is on green vinyl. I don't know, it should be on purple, but whatever. Originals of this have like hand-colored eyeshadow and other elements. This is another one that's just getting so hard to get, the original version, so whatever. I mean, it's nice to have the songs. And Spook City USA, the version on here is a little bit different than the one that you could get from the box set. It's got like a little eerie keyboard. Very cool. Let me get into my records, the actual LPs. This is the Walk Among Us like third pressing. This came out in '88. This is the one that I got when I was a kid. The color is different on the cover, but you know the music's exactly the same. There's no difference. It's got the inner sleeve with the lyrics and the cool photos of the band from back then. I mean, this is the record that really got me into the Misfits. I mean, I was all over this when the re-release came out. You know, they were riding off of Metallica actually covering some of their songs on the Garage Days Revisited. So a lot more people were getting into the Misfits. This is a later, this came out 2 years ago. This is Earache. Earache got the rights to release Walk Among Us. This is Martian Green. I never opened it. This is another one on Devil's Purple. Pretty cool. And this release, if you were lucky, you also got this frameable photo. This is an Eerie Von photo. They went up to a cave in upstate New York to take pictures. A lot of the Misfits recordings have like little outtakes from these photos. A lot of the, I think maybe even on the inside cover of Walk Among Us, there is a photo from that. Next, trying to show them as in the order that they came out originally. I think this came out around that same time. This is the 12-inch version of Evil Live that Aggressive Rock Productions in Germany put out. This is just basically a giant size version of the 7-inch, which I don't have. The 7-inch they released, it had 4 different covers, but it was all the same music. And We Are 138 has Henry Rollins on vocals. They even shout him out. Pretty cool. Back cover is awesome. Got the Crimson Ghost. This is the record. Nothing special. You know. It's got that Beware. I wish I had a Beware 12-inch too, but I don't. It's the same type of layout as Beware, which is awesome. One day I should have a Beware. I'm working on it. All right, next. Earth AD. Look at that cover. Artwork by Mad Mark Rude. Supposedly took him like a couple 100 hours to draw that. This is an original first pressing of Earth AD. The way you could tell that is there's no barcode, and it was only on Plan 9 records. It doesn't say Caroline. Later pressings, they joined up with Caroline. So this is an original pressing. And if you look at the label has the artwork, and it's nice and crispy. As later versions came out, the artwork degraded from the printing process, whatever they do. This is how I learned a lot about the pressings of Earth AD. There's a group on Instagram they're called On Earth As It Is in Hell. They're collectors from overseas. I believe they're in Sweden. But they pretty much amassed every single version of Earth AD they possibly could. And there's hundreds of versions. If you look through this book, your mind would be blown just at how many cool versions there are. It's endless, and this tells you how to figure out which versions you have. And thankfully I have a first pressing, but there's so many versions, and the colored vinyl is just amazing. Those are just big money. So these sold out almost immediately, so I would tell you to get a copy, but they're going to be hard to find. This is another version of Earth AD that I have. From reading that book, I realized this is a cool variant, because if you look at Jerry Only's picture, the hair, the printing of the hair is off. And this is called the Ghoul hair variant. Super 7, the action figure company, they even made a version of their Earth AD figure with the Ghoul hair variant, which is hard to get too. And there's also, if you look at the elbow of this statue here, there's like black squares, which was a printing mistake. So, you know, it's cool to see just different versions. This, Die Die My Darling, this was the last release they put out when the band was still together. I believe they were still together. This is not a first pressing. This is a much later pressing. It's got the artwork from the Chamber of Chills comic book, which I wish I had. A good friend of mine actually has an original Chamber of Chills comic book graded. Unbelievable. And it's got the Pusshead artwork on the back cover, which is always cool. I mean, this was, I think, one of the first things Pusshead did for the Misfits. And another thing, Slip Disc Records. It's cool. It's got the Slip Disc sticker on it. That was a great record store in Long Island. Well, not rest in peace. They're no longer a brick and mortar store, put it that way. Here, this is another really great record. Legacy Brutality. This came out post-breakup. This was kind of a compilation, but they redid a lot of the guitar work and a lot of the drums and stuff on this. Danzig and Eerie Von actually got together and they redid the recordings. They're based basically on the original Static Age recordings plus some other songs, but they wanted to avoid having to pay the old members, so they just, Eerie Von helped out Danzig. And I mean, I love this back cover artwork. Sean Taggart, I love that. That's just so sick. And another great thing about this record, it was gifted to me by a good friend of mine named Rob. What's up, Rob? This was his childhood copy that he had in his record collection. And I saw it and I said, dude, what are you doing with this? You're not a Misfits guy. And he's like, all right, you can have it. I was like, oh, how much you want? He's like, no, you could have it. I was like, wow, man, thank you. And it's got an original R Music Center sticker on it, which was a great record store in Staten Island. So, you know, I love just to have stuff like this just for, you know, people that gave it to me. You know, it's always got a good story. And then these last records, my mom actually got for me not that long ago, too. She was on vacation somewhere, and she went into a record store, and she called me up. She said, oh, I'm in a record store. Do you want anything? I'm like, I don't know. I was like put on the spot. I was like, get me a couple Misfits records. So she grabbed me this, which is a bootleg of the 12 Hits from Hell sessions, which was the sessions that had Doyle and Bobby Steele on guitar. And it's not mastered that well, so the recording's kind of low. But I like it, you know, and it's got those photos that Erie Von took in the cave. Cool stuff. Thank you, Mom. And then this, a live recording from Detroit from '83. This may even be the version that's in that home video, that Why Be Something You're Not video. I'm not sure, but I didn't even open it because a lot of the Misfits recordings, you know, the live versions aren't that great. And then last but not least, I just wanted to show you this. This is a book that came out a couple of years ago called Scream With Me. This has got everything in it. All the pictures and ephemera, paper, you know, posters, things like that. All the stuff that, you know, none of us could ever attain in this time. But there's a lot of crazy collectors out there. And this just shows everything. It's an amazing book. Unfortunately, I think it got shut down. I think it's off the market because the Danzig machine, you know, figured they would put a stop to it. But this is also an interesting version because, look, when you close the book, it's upside down. It was bound wrong. And this was definitely a mistake. And there's not many versions that are like this, so I'm happy to own it. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you can, leave me a comment. Let me know what Misfits stuff you have. Subscribe if you can. And thank you very much. Have a good day, all right?